You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5.
Good morning, up to Thursday, February 8th. Good morning, early risers. I'm Ray Collins.
I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday morning, as we like to call it around here, Friday Eve.
John likes to call it Little Friday.
Little Friday, baby Friday.
Hey,
Top of the morning to you,
yes.
folks. Yep, Little Friday, right around the corner, Big Friday. Then the weekend. Oh, today, we're going to start off a little bit slow in the commute, I think, in some places because of the fog that we have around. It's not so bad over our area right now, but just a little to the north, we have a dense fog advisory up. Visibilities have been reported as low as a quarter mile along our coastline at the airport. It kind of ebbs and flows right now. Sometimes it's a little bit better, right, like it is at this very moment when we have a visibility coming in at about 5 miles in Sarasota. Venice coming in at 8. But the fog is out there, and it could get thicker. It could lighten up in your particular location. Just remember, as you're out there, out and about, driving around today, you can come up on a bank of fog that's kind of thick in pretty short order. Across the region, we don't have much in the way of any kind of rainfall. We do have a fair amount of cloud cover. The cloud cover will be with us as a frontal boundary approaches to the north of us, triggering showers right now in the Panhandle. We'll talk about what that means in terms of our rain chances today and for the all-important upcoming weekend as well. That coming up in just a few.
All right, talk to you again soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads. First off, in Manatee County, all clear so far. No problems there. Farther south, once again, the only thing we see is this at Bee Ridge, a little congestion spot after you turn off of 41 in the eastbound lane. And then farther south, we'll check that and find out to the south there is nothing to report at 5:02 on this Thursday morning.
All right, this morning the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office is asking for your help identifying the person who broke into a Sarasota gas station last month. Now take a good look at this photo right here. Detectives say this person broke into the BP gas station on South Tamiami Trail in Sarasota back on January the 17th around 2:30 in the morning. They then removed the cash register and the ATM. Now anyone with information is asked to contact Sarasota County Crime Stoppers at the number on your screen. That number again is 941-366-TIPS.
A long-term investigation into the sale of illegal drugs in the city of Bradenton ends in the arrest of 8 people. Detectives used several search warrants. Items seized included over 9 pounds of synthetic marijuana, also known as spice, less than a quarter ounce of marijuana, and 2 ounces of cocaine. A case of deadly hazing of a Florida A&M University band member is back in the spotlight this morning. The lawyer for Dante Martin, convicted in the death of 26-year-old Robert Champion, says state law on hazing is vague and shouldn't be applied in this case, saying it makes an exception for athletic events or other similar competitions. Now, Champion was a marching drum major who died after bandmates beat him in a hazing ritual. The University of Central Florida is suspending a fraternity after a mother said her son was forced to chug a bottle of vodka during a pledging event. And she says he was dropped as a pledge because he got sick. Beta Theta Pi was banned from Penn State last year after a pledge died at a frat party there. The national organization of that frat says it's working with UCF to investigate these latest allegations. Well, National Signing Day always brings some surprises as players announce their college choices. Yesterday in Pensacola, high school football star Jacob Copeland chose to continue his sport at the University of Florida. But as great as that sounds, one person not so much thrilled, his mom. Copeland was surrounded by several people, most of his family, and most of whom were either wearing Alabama or Tennessee gear, including his mom. As soon as he grabbed a Florida hat and announced he was going to play for the Gators, his mom left the table. Be a little upset with his choice, but no worries, she did later return. She gave her son a long hug of support. 5:04 right now, a White House senior staffer has resigned in the wake of allegations of domestic abuse. That's right. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the details of the scandal that sources say White House officials knew about for months.
This morning, sources say top White House officials knew for months about domestic violence allegations against one of President Trump's most trusted advisors, Staff Secretary Rob Porter.
The President and Chief of Staff have had full confidence and trust in his abilities and his performance.
Porter accused of abusing his 2 ex-wives, the women first coming forward to tell their stories in the Daily Mail and The Intercept. Chief of Staff John Kelly first defending Porter, calling him a man of true honor and integrity. But then the release of this image, Porter's first ex-wife Colby Holderness claiming he punched her a decade ago. Overnight, a new statement from Kelly expressing shock, saying there is no place for domestic violence. I stand by my previous comments and believe every individual deserves the right to defend their reputation. Porter resigned, releasing his own statement. These outrageous allegations are simply false. I took the photos, and the reality behind them is nowhere close to what is being described. I have been transparent and truthful about these vile claims. It's unclear when Trump knew about the allegations, but the White House says Porter was not forced out. Porter's second wife, Jenny Willoughby, told the Washington Post about an alleged attack after their first anniversary.
He came and grabbed me by the shoulders here and pulled me out of the shower in a rage.
In 2010, that second ex-wife got an emergency protective order against Porter. He's called the allegations against him a coordinated smear campaign. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Rescuers in Taiwan are still searching for the people missing after a devastating earthquake there yesterday. At least 9 people were killed and 58 are still missing. Emergency workers are using heavy equipment to get into buildings that are falling and are dangerously tilting as well. It happened just before midnight on Tuesday night local time there. Also in the Far East, a new invention in China. This is the world's first passenger drone taking someone for a spin. The passenger is not the pilot. It's controlled by an automated system. The company says it can carry a single person weighing up to 220 pounds for about 20 minutes. Earlier this week, the private company SpaceX launched the Falcon Heavy rocket. So what's next for them? An even bigger rocket, which has people hopeful it'll be used to send people to colonize Mars. It could be ready for a test run as early as next year.
I think we might, if we get lucky, we'll be able to do short hopper flights with the spaceship part of BFR, maybe next year.
Earlier this week, SpaceX included a dummy on board strapped into a Tesla Roadster.
Well, we've been talking about the flu all month long as well. This nasty virus is expected to stick around at least until April, continuing to put the most vulnerable at risk, kids.
Let's go live now to Marla Spence, who is at the Sarasota Military Academy with details. Marla, good morning.
Yeah, you parents may want to listen up. Kids, especially those in schools, are at a higher risk of getting the flu, especially those who are in school. Officials say that they are 10 times likely to get the flu than your average healthy adult. Now, according to the CDC, about 20,000 kids are hospitalized from the flu complications like pneumonia. So far, parents are trying their best to keep their children safe, and they are wondering how exactly they can do that. They can simply send their kid off with hand sanitizer and tissues. Also continue to be repetitive at home about practices that can be done in the classroom, like coughing and sneezing into tissues instead of their hands, and to always reinforce hand washing and remembering not to share food or drinks with any of their friends. Now, those tips can go a long way in preventing the flu. Coming up at 5:30, Manatee County officials, they tell us that they're putting in overtime to prevent the flu from spreading in Manatee County schools. How exactly are they doing that? You have to stay tuned. Reporting live on the Suncoast, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Marla. More tips on staying healthy during the flu season. Go to our app. You can find it at the App Store under WWSB or under My Suncoast. By the way, next half hour, we're going to talk about Tampa Bay being among the highest nationwide for the flu.
In the top 10, the whole Tampa Bay, St. Pete, Clearwater area, right in those crossfires as well.
Did you get a flu shot?
I did the share.
And you got the flu?
And I got the flu twice, so I feel like, I've got a good average going on. I usually have one good solid flu/bronchitis during every season, but this one's been a little rough, and I think most people will find that too.
Yeah, no flu shot and no flu.
Yeah, but I did that last year and still got the flu.
All right.
I think it's kind of a crapshoot sometimes.
Apparently so. Up next, the latest First Alert traffic and John Scalzi's weather. And FEMA is under fire for its recovery efforts in Puerto Rico. Why Democrats are looking for answers.
And coming up a little later in the hour, now the cost of those vet bills are daunting at times. We're going to show you whether or not it's worth it to get insurance to cover those costs for your pets. So stick around with that.
We love showing you live shots around the world today. This is a live shot from the North Korea.
What was that noise?
I thought it was going to be the Olympics, but it's actually North Korea.
Yeah, North Korean television.
All right, there's a pretty live shot
feed
going on right now while you're watching Good Morning Suncoast.
Join ABC7 at the all-new 2018 edition of Circus Sarasota. Ovation under the big top at Nathan Benderson Park behind the mall at UTC. Friday, February 9th through Sunday, March 4th. All opening weekend tickets are 20% off, courtesy of ABC7. To purchase your discount tickets, visit circusarts.org, the Circus Sarasota box office at the Big Top, or call 941-355-9805.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
What if you had a medical emergency away from home?
My chest hurts. I can't breathe.
What you need is Mobile Help, America's premier mobile medical alert system. Most systems only work at home, but with Mobile Help, you get help outside the home with coverage nationwide on one of the largest cellular networks at the press of a button. Call the number on your screen for a free full-color brochure. We'll send you everything you need, including this base station, the patented mobile device, and the waterproof pendant and wrist button. You can also add the fall button that automatically detects falls and signals help. Call today and receive a risk-free 30-day trial. There is no equipment to buy and no long-term contract. For a limited time, you will also receive a free emergency key box with your plan purchase. Remember, Mobile Help keeps you safe coast to coast.
Call 1-800-916-8638. That's 1-800-916-8638.
Selfless service is the guiding principle of every Army National Guard soldier. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. To be an Army National Guard soldier is to serve something greater than yourself. Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So Tower Cam showing, pretty good viewing right now. We don't have much in the way of any kind of visibility restrictions over the city of Sarasota. So that's good news. The chance for dense fog still remains in the forecast, but I'll tell you, all the ingredients have to come together just absolutely perfectly for that sea fog to become a problem for us. So right now, so far, so good, though the visibility has kind of ebbed and flowed over the course of the morning. 63 degrees, the current air temperature, dew point the same, 100% relative humidity, and calm winds right now. Calm winds, actually not a particularly good thing for the development of sea fog. You need a little transport of air over the relatively cooler Gulf waters to get the sea fog going. Got that a little bit further to the north, closer to where our frontal boundary is sinking southward, and there is some dense fog up along areas from, I'd say probably around Dunedin northward and up through the Big Bend region. But for us, we just haven't seen that develop yet. Still have that opportunity, though. A little bit of cloud cover out there. We'll be beating back those clouds around today, and we will possibly have a few sprinkles in the forecast, particularly in the second half of the day as that front approaches. We'll go with a 3 p.m. temperature of about 79 degrees, similar to yesterday. We'll probably top it out in the low 80s. 72 degrees by 7, and by 12 midnight, we'll look for 66. Tomorrow morning, 65 degrees. I don't think we'll have the fog problems around tomorrow morning as much. High pressure will give way to this frontal boundary, which will continue to press southward. It is producing showers and even a few thunderstorms, but the heaviest of the weather is now located off the Atlantic coastline after yesterday's snowstorm in the northeast. Another little area of low pressure developing could give another blast of snow, quick blast of snow to parts of the central Great Lakes and eventually the northeast over the next 48 hours. High pressure building in back behind this frontal boundary, but the front itself is going to have a kind of lingering influence on our weather for several days, because the tail end of that front will be a warm front that will lift northward and kind of keep us in a little bit more cloud cover over the next several days. But not much in the way of weather, and certainly no colder air, despite the fact the front sinks southward. So more clouds around today. We'll factor in about a 20% chance of just an isolated sprinkle, nothing really heavy, and then more sun around tomorrow. So the forecast shaping up to be pretty good for the remainder of the work week, actually. North wind coming in at about 10 to 15, a little breezy tonight, northeast at about 15, light chop 2-foot seas. And the forecast calling for 81 degrees today with about a 20% chance of rain. Tomorrow 82, Saturday 82. Sunday will work in a chance at a little bit more cloud cover as that frontal boundary approaches. 81 then, though, and then on Monday, that lingering front kind of stalling over us, bringing us unsettled weather, kind of washing away on Tuesday. And for Valentine's Day, everything looks pretty good. We'll have sunshine building in, and we'll have a daytime high of around 81, and in the evenings, probably a temperature of around 72 or so. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look at your first alert traffic out there this morning. Now, so far this time in the morning, there are some foggy spots, as John mentioned, that you should keep in mind. Just some spots here and there, nothing too bad a little bit. Now, if you're heading into Manatee County, all those roads are looking pretty good. Same if you're heading into North Sarasota. Those roads are actually looking pretty clear this morning, too. No real congestion has set in yet. And if you're headed into South County as well, those roads as well are still looking pretty clear at 5:17 this morning. Well, scammers are targeting Hurricane Harvey survivors in Texas that are still in need of help.
It's discouraging news. As Nick Notario tells us, they're pretending to work for FEMA.
More than 5 months after Hurricane Harvey came through, Elizabeth Folk's childhood home is still in shambles.
I'd probably cry my eyes out if they left this place this way.
They don't have money to put in new walls, flooring, or new furniture.
We still need tons of help. I mean, you know, we need new fencing, we need new siding, new walls, everything.
She's still holding out hope someone from FEMA will call and ask her to apply for assistance.
In a heartbeat. I mean, no doubt, I would apply as soon as I possibly could, just because we need the help.
Thing is, FEMA stopped taking applications more than 2 months ago. Folk, though, isn't the only Harvey victim unaware of this.
Definitely. I mean, I would take that chance, see if I can get some kind of support.
Knowing this, the Federal Trade Commission released a new warning. It's received multiple complaints from people in the Houston area that have fallen victim. Officials say people are pretending to be FEMA agents, stealing identities and filing for aid in their name.
How people can do that to someone in need, I mean, it's hard enough to throw away all your belongings and then have somebody come and take your money and leave.
It angers Folk too, but she says when you're in desperate need of help, it's easy to become a victim.
Some people say, well, why don't you just do this and do that? Well, that sounds great in theory, but it's kind of hard sometimes when you don't have the funds or you don't have the information that you need to get the help.
So any signs of identity theft or scamming, of course, should be reported.
You can visit identitytheft.gov or you can email disaster@leo.gov. We can find that information as well on mysuncoast.com.
FEMA is being criticized for failing to supply tens of millions of meals to Puerto Ricans in the wake of Hurricane Maria. FEMA awarded a small Atlanta-based company millions of dollars to deliver 30 million meals to Puerto Rico, but only 50,000 were passed out. Now lawmakers are calling for FEMA to be subpoenaed for any documents related to that agreement. FEMA insists no Puerto Ricans missed any meals as a result of the failed agreement with the private company. They say they relied on other suppliers as well.
Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, just how smart is that smart TV of yours? Could it actually be spying on you? Sounds like the plot of a good sci-fi movie, but that answer is coming up next in Text Bites.
And how much should you be getting back on your paycheck after President Trump's tax plan settles in? We'll break it down for you based on family size and income. Those stories and more when we come back.
I'm calling in regards about my mother, and I'm here, and I just want to thank you because it saved my mother's life yesterday. And I'd like to know the names of the people that came in and saved her so I could call and thank them. And she's doing fine. It's a wonderful thing. Thank you.
When you fall and cannot get up, an accident can turn into a tragedy. But with Life Alert, one touch of a button can get you help fast. Life Alert saves a person from a catastrophe every 10 minutes.
Life Alert is a lifesaver. If it weren't for Life Alert, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-652-3012. That's 1-800-652-3012. Call now 1-800-652-3012. For a free brochure, call 1-800-652-3012.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
We like showing you live pictures. There's a pretty shot of the Atlanta skyline. 36 degrees as they wake up there in the capital of Georgia. 36 feels like 28. They'll see some clouds today. Much nicer here. John's forecast coming up. But first, here's Stephanie Webb.
All right, so you're looking for another option in grocery shopping these days? Well, Target is offering same-day delivery through the app called Shipt. Now, the company picks up your groceries for you and even delivers them. How great is that, right to your house? And the good news, we like this part, that the service is already available here in Sarasota.
We've seen that consumers really enjoy the convenience that Shipt offers. So giving people back their time to go to soccer games with their kids or spend more time at home with their family. Or maybe it's an elderly person that can't get out of the house. We're happy to deliver groceries for them.
All right, so here's how it works. Now, you do have to have a membership to use the delivery service. The only things that Target does not deliver through the app Shipt are alcohol, prescription meds, and clothing. All right, and next, money, money, money. Your paycheck may go up this month. That's great news, thanks to the new tax law. In today's Consumer Watch, Mary Maloney explains just how much more money, money, money you could be getting.
As the IRS implements the new tax plan, you could see a bump in your paycheck. The Congressional Budget Office estimates employers will likely withhold between $10 and $15 billion less from workers every month, meaning more money for you. Payroll service ADP crunched the numbers. Let's say you're a single filer getting paid twice a month, taking one withholding allowance, contributing 5% to a 401k, making $57,000 a year. You could see $60 more in each check. If you make about $162,000 a year, expect to see about $190 more. Let's look at married workers who file jointly, put 5% in a 401k, get paid every 2 weeks, but take 2 allowances. The joint filer making $61,000 could see an extra $40 a pay period. Remember, your take-home pay depends on much more than just your salary and allowances. State and local taxes, as well as health deductions, may also impact your pay and could eat up any potential extra cash. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
All right, well, no, it is not the plot to the latest Stephen King novel, but it kind of sounds like it. Could your smart TV be spying on you?
One more thing to worry about, huh? Consumer Reports is out with a new warning. ABC's Candace Gibson and Diane Macedo have the story in this morning's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, a new warning that your smart TV could easily be hacked.
Consumer Reports magazine found smart TVs made by Samsung and Roku failed a basic security test, making it easy for hackers to take control, change the channels, even raise the volume. Both brands say they take security seriously.
Your Apple Watch may be able to detect diabetes. Researchers say the watches pick up the disease with their heart rate sensors.
The study looked at people already diagnosed with the condition. They say the sensors are 85% accurate.
A senator can take credit for helping create a new emoji.
Maine Senator Angus King successfully lobbied for a lobster emoji. It's one of 157 new emojis this year.
A new list also includes redheads, a lacrosse stick, a skateboard, and mosquitoes.
Who lobbied for the mosquito?
No idea. Those are your Tech Bites.
Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by TracFone.
You don't always use your smartphone to update your status.
We'll find him, okay?
You don't always use it to read the latest posting.
Aw, little girl lost your dog. Wait a minute.
You don't always use your smartphone to friend someone. But when it matters most, you count on TracFone.
I think I found your dog.
Our new smartphone plan gives you talk, text, and data for just $15 a month with no contract, with nationwide coverage on America's largest and most dependable 4G LTE networks. Visit your nearest retailer today to start saving with TracFone. TracFone, for moments that matter.
For you, it's always leap over look, now over later, and pause, not even in your vocabulary. So when a cold sore tingle strikes, you act on it. Only Abreva can heal a cold sore in as little as 2.5 days when used at the first sign. It starts to work immediately to block the virus and protect healthy cells. Nothing heals a cold sore faster. And because Abreva acts on it, you can too. Act on it with Abreva.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Alex Karras Lincoln's 40th anniversary sale. Please join us in welcoming the two newest additions to the Lincoln lineup, our flagship luxury sedan, the 2018 Lincoln Continental, and the totally redesigned 2018 Lincoln Navigator, featuring 450 horsepower, 10-speed transmission, and many best-in-class features. Alex Karras Lincoln, where our mission statement is consistent commitment, every client, every time. Located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Everyone likes the 2018 Honda Civic for $169 a month. You made Civic a best-selling compact car in America. You like Civic's 5-star safety ratings, and that KBB.com named Civic a best buy and the most awarded car. Get the 2018 Civic at a payment you love. $169 a month today at your local Honda dealer.
Honda, I like it. Oh yeah, I like it.
Fact. The top 3 Marriott hotels in North and South America are on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, according to a recent survey of 363 Marriott hotels. The Marriott at Grand National, the Marriott Shoals Hotel, and the Grand Hotel. And 2 of the top 3 Renaissance hotels are also on the trail, Ross Bridge in Birmingham and the Battle House in Mobile. Southern hospitality still rules. For reservations or information, visit rtjgolf.com/resorts.
Every week on Animal Outtakes, it's a new adventure. From meeting curious lemurs to feeding big cats and hosing down rhinos, there's never a dull moment. And sometimes these amazing animals chime in. Tune in to Animal Outtakes to find out what they have to say. Watch Animal Outtakes every week on ABC 7.
Get breaking news, plus first alert weather and traffic focused on where you live. Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC7, weekdays starting at 5.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast. Now, we all worry about our own healthcare costs, but should you invest in pet insurance in case of emergencies?
The Manatee County School District say they're putting in overtime to prevent the flu from spreading in local schools. What exactly they're doing, that's coming up.
And another federal government shutdown is looming. We'll have details on the deal reached by both sides. Those stories and more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 5:30.
Love that fast open, huh?
Right, very quick. Good morning to you. It is 5:31. I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, I'm Ray Collins. February the 8th, 63 degrees on the outside right now. Let's see how the forecast looks today. Here's the expert, John Scalzi.
Yeah, well, it looks pretty good, I think. It's not going to be our Chamber of Commerce day, but it's going to be pretty close to it, I guess. We have a little bit of fog out there this morning, though the further north you go, you drive an hour north, and you're going to be really in the kind of soup. We haven't really seen that develop here for a number of reasons. Winds are certainly a big contributor in terms of our local fog forecast this morning. It doesn't seem to be cooperating with the production of fog, and so consequently our visibilities are still decent. They're coming in at around 5 miles at the airport, 9 miles in Venice, Punta Gorda coming in at 10, though we have had some fluctuations in that. Down as low as a quarter mile at times in some places. So allow yourself a little extra time in the idea that you might come up on a bank of fog that makes visibility a little difficult. As far as our current temperatures go, they're certainly mild enough. 65 degrees Longboat Key, 66 Lakewood Ranch, 63 in Sarasota. We have a temperature during the day that continues to rise up to about 79 by 3. I'll put in a slight chance at a sprinkle only because we have a frontal boundary sinking south. We're going to be talking about that in detail and its implications to the forecast in just a few. As far as the commute forecast goes, just watch for fog. Back to you.
Fair enough. Thank you for the warning. Let's check the traffic right now. A little blip there at the 301 northbound as you head into downtown Bradenton. Otherwise, relatively clear right now in Manatee County. Checking the northern half now of Sarasota County. You'll see that 41 southbound in front of the Ritz there has a little bit of congestion as you head toward the Ringling Causeway. Also at the base of your screen, Clark Road westbound around Honore. And our final map to the south checks all clear right now. Let's take a live shot of the usual trouble spots. Right now pretty clear though. University and I-75, so much attention paid there over the past couple of years as that diverging diamond was put in. Have you tried that yet?
I have not. I'm a little bit intimidated by that.
I got to tell you.
Those and roundabouts are not my friends.
No?
I'll just get stuck going round and round and around.
You keep on, that's why you're late.
Right.
But that thing's worked relatively well, but there's the scene live right now out by the mall on University. Right now it's 5:33 on your Thursday morning.
All right, and somebody else live is our Marla Spence. We've been talking for the last couple of weeks just how bad the flu season is getting, and one of the things that we're finding is that it's really hitting kids the hardest these days.
Marla Spence is live from the Sarasota Military Academy with details on what parents can do. Marla?
Yeah, schools across the Suncoast are on high alert, and they are well aware of how the flu can impact kids right here on the Suncoast. So some health officials as well as school officials are taking matters into their own hands. Now this year, the flu is showing no signs of slowing down. So those health officials are doing what they can to minimize the amount of kids getting the flu. We spoke to the deputy superintendent with Manatee County, and he tells us the school board approved overtime for school janitors to clean schools on the weekends. Also, Manatee County School District is abiding by the Centers for Disease Control guidelines to preventing the flu, and that means enforcing hand washing as well as enforcing the fact of cleaning down hard surfaces to minimize the amount of germs on those hard surfaces like desks and also pencil sharpeners. The numbers are also alarming in the area for Manatee County and Sarasota County of the number of patients hospitalized coming up at 6 o'clock. We're going to be telling you why schools are the most vulnerable for the flu virus. That'll be at 6 o'clock this morning. You got to stay tuned to see what exactly parents can do in order to minimize the risk of their kids getting the flu. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Marla. Well, we know that healthcare costs are a big concern in our community, but how often do you think about the cost of healthcare for your pet? Well, some pet owners are paying thousands of dollars out of pocket for life-saving treatments like chemotherapy or even emergency surgeries. But could pet insurance help you save money in the long run? Coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, ABC's Jess Dudrick is investigating how much pet insurance could cost you and whether or not it's worth it financially in the long run.
I do have cases come in where a dog could undergo treatment that could potentially be life-saving. We can never make guarantees. And people end up going for humane euthanasia because it's either they pay for that procedure, which might work, or they keep the roof on their house.
All right, again, you can tune in tonight at 6 o'clock with Jess Dowdrick to see a comparison of some of the cheapest pet insurance companies on the Suncoast and hear what vets have to say about some different plans.
All right, continuing coverage now on efforts in Congress to avoid another government shutdown.
ABC's Candace Gibson tells us how likely it is and that it'll happen as tonight's deadline is quickly approaching.
A breakthrough on Capitol Hill, the Senate agreeing on a rare bipartisan agreement to fund the government for 2 years.
This budget deal is the first real sprout of bipartisanship.
I hope we can build on this bipartisan momentum.
The deal includes billions for opioid treatment, disaster relief, and infrastructure, and a big boost to defense spending. But it puts off immigration for another day, and that not cutting it for House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi.
Every day, courageous, patriotic dreamers lose their status. Every day, the American dream slips further out of reach.
The Democrat delivering a speech in support of dreamers, the undocumented immigrants brought here as children. For more than 8 hours, the longest continuous House floor speech in modern history. The agreement also doesn't include funding for the president's border wall. Just 2 days ago, President Trump emphatically called for a government shutdown if he didn't get that money.
Let's have a shutdown. We'll do a shutdown. I'd love to see a shutdown. Without borders, we don't have a country. So would I shut it down over this issue? Yes.
But now the White House says the president welcomes the Senate deal, even if it doesn't include an immigration fix.
The focus for us has always been to get a 2-year budget deal. We've made no secret the president wants funding for the wall and he wants border security, and we expect to see that reflected in the
But
budget.
he said he wanted to shut the government down if he didn't get it. Now that's no longer operative? Is that no longer the position?
No, the position hasn't changed. We've laid out exactly what we want to happen.
Candace Gibson, ABC News, New York.
State politics now. Governor Scott on the Suncoast talking about job growth yesterday. Governor Scott met with workers at Rapid Composites off 301 near Whitfield. The governor says he's proud of the fact that Florida businesses have created about 1.5 million jobs in the past 7 years.
I like working with people that care about jobs. We just announced $35 million state investment in 9 communities in our Florida Job Growth Grant Fund. That's going to create more jobs in our state. My goal is month in and month out, add jobs.
It's very exciting for us, and it was incredible. It was a great experience. I think it went really well, and we've been, we were warmly received and really enjoyed getting an opportunity to showcase our business here in Florida.
Yeah, that local company, Rapid Composites, designs, engineers, and manufactures a variety of hardware, including advanced drone technology for law enforcement and the military.
Now, with Scott's announcement on Florida jobs, he also announced a new job placement partnership to help Puerto Rican families that had to leave their homes after Hurricane Maria hit. Now, that partnership will be between education, business, and workforce development organizations. The announcement comes on the heels of a $1 million investment into Florida's workforce to help those affected families.
And while the governor was talking jobs in Sarasota, the U.S. Attorney General was in Tampa talking about the opioid epidemic. Jeff Sessions says that federal investigators continue to crack down on darknet marketplaces. That's a computer network used primarily for illegal file sharing, where people sometimes buy illegal drugs. The Drug Enforcement Agency, or DEA, is asking medical practitioners whether they have received education on prescribing or dispensing opioids when they apply for a license or renewal. Sessions also highlighted several overdose cases in Central Florida.
Few families in this country are untouched by this disaster. Who could forget the tragic story of Katie Golden, a 17-year-old from South Tampa? She died last year after accidentally overdosing on heroin.
Sessions says too many opioids are prescribed in this country. The initial sign-up numbers for Obamacare are in, and they show a small downturn with a twist. Sign-ups fell 5.3% in the 34 states that rely entirely on the federal exchange for enrollment. But it was a different story in many of the states that either run their own exchanges or outsource enrollment to healthcare.gov. Now, those states saw enrollment numbers stay pretty much the same as last year. None of these numbers are final yet. They won't happen until consumers pay their first month's premium. On to state politics now. The Florida House and Senate are expected to vote today on rival $87 billion budget plans. While the two chambers are spending roughly the same, they are not spending the same in key areas, including environmental programs, public schools, and also state universities. The annual session is scheduled to end on March 9th.
Well, 8 new species have been added to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission's guidelines. Now, those guidelines are actually designed to be a tool for landowners and help them provide specific information on some of the key issues that are relevant to conservation these days. 57 species are currently in the agency's imperiled species management plans, meaning they're endangered to some degree. For a look at those guidelines, you can go to our website, mysuncoast.com.
All right, 5:40 right now. Up next, First Alert traffic and also John Scalzi's forecast. And the singer Drake going around Miami passing out thousands of dollars. Look at the laundry list of donations he's making so far.
And it is a list, very impressive. And this Gerber baby is making history this morning. We're going to tell you what perks come with his new gig.
63 degrees right now in Sarasota. There's a shot of the downtown skyline as we pull out there from our tower camera. Should be a pretty day, a high of 79 degrees by 3 p.m. John Scalzi has all the details next on Good Morning Suncoast.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if your loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on a pedal. You get a clean mop pad that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
That is a pretty good breakfast. You're not even eating.
Not hungry.
No? Why not? What's up?
Kath and I knew that Jenny had been partying a bit.
Found out she tried heroin.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. Meteorologist John Scalzi.
Viewer photos. They are so beautiful. Fred Seeger sent this one in from Casey Key. Gorgeous sunset. Notice a few more clouds around yesterday evening, but still plenty of beautiful setting light reflecting off the base of those clouds. Jack Waters sent this one in from Sarasota as well. Again, another gorgeous shot and a very calm, tranquil shot with flat waters from Robert in Sarasota. Appreciate that one as well. Fishermen there maybe catching a little bit of dinner there in a beautiful, beautiful setting. I think we'll have a pretty nice sunset tonight as well, though I think we may have a little bit more cloud cover around, and it might be a little more breezy than it was yesterday. It might have a little bit more wave action out there. 53 degrees the current air temperature. We have a fair amount of cloud cover out there. So far, no thick fog across our region, though you don't have to go too far north to find the thick fog. And if these winds, which are right now are calm, go a little bit more toward the 5 to 10 mile per hour end of the scale, I think we'll probably see some of that fog maybe be rolling on shore. So we'll keep that in the back of our minds as we start our morning commute, and we'll monitor the situation for fog building a little bit thicker across the Suncoast. 79 degrees with a 20% chance of a little patchy drizzle. That's about it, though, just drizzle as we head into 3 p.m. And it won't be a kind of persistent drizzle. It'll be just a kind of hit and miss drizzle. You get it for a few seconds, hit the windshield wipers a few times, and it's gone. That's the kind of nature of the showers that we might get today. 72 degrees by 7 p.m. and then 66 by midnight. As you wake up tomorrow morning, probably see temperatures in the mid-60s, and there'll probably be a little bit of cloud cover around to start the morning tomorrow as well. The frontal boundary is kind of carving its way right across the northern part of the state right now, and that front will gradually sink southward down to the southern tip of the state. It'll probably put on its brakes down there through the Florida Straits, and the tail end of it will start to lift back north as a warm front. That might give us a little bit of high cloudiness around tomorrow as well. I don't think it's really going to impact us by moving directly over us. We'll wait actually over the weekend for another front to finally whisk all of this away and bring us back into some more tranquil weather conditions by midweek next week. High pressure, the dominant weather feature for most of the deep south as we get into tomorrow, but today there are some scattered showers around. Probably will not impact the airport hubs of Raleigh, Durham, or Charlotte, or Atlanta, so our airport travel's probably okay today. More clouds. An isolated sprinkle, but even that, the chance is only about 20%, and then more sun around tomorrow, I think. Take a look at these temperature trends, and this is a good indication that despite the fact that we'll have two fronts coming through over the next 5 days, it's really not going to cool us down all that much. Our nighttime lows stay solidly in the mid-60s. Wind speeds may be ticking up a little bit as we head into the evening hours and nighttime hours, northeast at about 15, but until then, 2-foot seas and a light chop. Forecast looks good. We'll look for a daytime high today that tops it out at about 81. 20% chance of a sprinkle tomorrow, 82. Look for Saturday, a little increasing cloud cover as a front moves in on Sunday with a 20% to 30% chance of rain. And then that rain shower chance continues on into Monday when the front actually carves its way southward. Then we start to clear out a little bit on Tuesday. And so far, Valentine's Day looks woohoo, sunny, mild, beautiful. Love will be in the air. Back to you guys.
That is a great endorsement. Thanks, John Scalzi. Let's take a look at your first alert traffic. If you're heading into Manatee County, you do have some slowdowns that you're beginning to see right there. On State Road 64, you can see a little slowdown there, as well as State Road 70. And then in North Sarasota County, we are starting to see some congestion and some blips, as Ray likes to call them, especially right there on University Parkway, starting to get some traffic there. And then in South County as well, those roads are actually looking pretty good. The congestion is cleared out, so your roads are looking pretty good at 5:49 this morning. Well, in this hour's Health Smart, STDs have been on the rise in the past few years, but there is some good news. Herpes infections are decreasing across nearly every demographic in the U.S., according to a new report. Now, those findings were based on a survey administered annually by the CDC. 2 strains of herpes were most common in Mexican and African Americans. Now, this comes at a time when the other sexually transmitted diseases are actually increasing around the country. In 2016, more than 2 million cases of chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis were reported to the CDC. Those are the highest numbers that were ever recorded.
A new report says Tampa Bay ranks in the top 10 nationwide for severe flu cases. It ranks 6 on a list by Doctors Report. The report lists 14 areas in the nation where the flu has been most severe using a database of doctor-reported cases over the past week. The Hillsborough County area has reported 30 outbreaks and 1 pediatric death in the current flu season.
Well, check out this little cutie because he made history yesterday. He's 18-month-old Lucas Warren, and he is Gerber's spokesbaby of the year. Now, every year they do this contest, but Lucas is the first child with Down syndrome to take the title in the contest's 91-year history. Now, Gerber picked Lucas from more than 140,000 entries across the country. His parents get to have that $50,000 prize. He's the face of their media campaigns, and he's going to be featured in ads throughout the year.
Love the bow tie.
Oh, so cute.
Hip-hop star Drake has been very generous in Miami. According to news reports, he has been in the city all week, dropping thousands of dollars wherever he goes. He spent over $50,000 to pay for everybody's groceries at a supermarket. He gave $50,000 to a student at UM, $25,000 to Miami Senior High, $50,000 to the Lotus House Women's Shelter. Let's go find Drake.
Right? I know. Let's go be Drake's friend. All right, want to do something really amazing for this Valentine's Day? Well, here's an idea. The deadline is quickly approaching to sign up for the chance to renew your vows on Siesta and Venice beaches this Valentine's Day, Ray. The pre-registration deadline is tomorrow if you're applying over snail mail, or Monday if you're registering online. We've got that address for you right there on the screen. You can visit this address. You can also find it online at mysuncoast.com, or you can check out the Sarasota government page in case you missed it.
Exchange vows on Siesta Key.
You did?
Yes.
That's so romantic.
Nice. There's a nice shot. Nothing romantic there.
No, like no romance right now, right?
There's a sharp turn. Is the government going to shut down again? We've got details of that big story on the way. There's a live shot of the Rotunda. Beautiful shot before daybreak. It is 5:52, 63 degrees back here in Sarasota, and you're watching Good Morning Suncoast.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
If you're looking for the perfect trip that allows you to spend quality time with a family, then discover the great outdoors on an Alabama Black Belt adventure. Create unforgettable memories while hunting, fishing, or biking and hiking. Or play the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, now celebrating 25 years. And while you're here, enjoy the flavors of the Black Belt. Book your adventure at our lodges or stay in the Renaissance Montgomery Hotel and Spa. Start planning an Alabama Black Belt adventure today.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons, leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
Thank you!
When it comes to drinking, what do you think moderation is? The U.S. Dietary Guidelines define moderation as up to 1 drink a day for women and up to 2 drinks a day for men. So what's a drink? The guidelines say a drink equals 12 ounces of beer, 5 ounces of wine, or a cocktail with 1.5 ounces of distilled spirits. Each contains the same amount of alcohol. Like to learn more? Visit drinkinmoderation.org.
Army National Guard soldiers serve to give back to their country and their community. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for benefits such as health and life insurance, education benefits, and retirement and VA home loan benefits. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Welcome back. These are some of the stories that we've been following for you on the Suncoast today.
Detectives arrested 8 people for drug dealing in Bradenton. Drugs included synthetic marijuana, which is also known as spice.
Plus, calling all you romantics. You want to renew your wedding vows on Siesta Key or Venice Beaches this Valentine's Day? Well, you're in luck. The pre-registration deadline is tomorrow. If you're going to apply over snail mail, you can find more online at mysuncoast.com. Well, this morning, beginning around 8:30, members of the community are invited to attend the Sarasota Bayfront Open Session to discuss and voice some of your opinions regarding what you think the future of the land should be used for. So make sure you check that out if you've got a vested interest in that.
All right, 63 degrees right now on this Thursday morning. Much more news and John Scalzi's weather after this.